Acho, you have a problem with Ryan Tannehill saying it's not his job to mentor Malik Willis?
I do. I have a huge problem with Ryan Tannehill saying it's not his job to mentor Malik Willis, but not for reasons y'all think. My problem with Ryan Tannehill is this, and this is what you need to pay attention to. The only reason you are scared to mentor somebody is because, number one, you lack confidence in your own ability. Number two, you are insecure about your position on that roster or on that depth chart. Or number three, you think that person can do what you can do and can do it better. Number one, you lack confidence. Number two, you're insecure. And number three, you think they can do what you can do and they can do it better. Problem is this, Ryan Tannehill, if you are so insecure about your starting position or you lack the confidence in your ability so much so that a third-round pick could come take your job, then Ryan Tannehill, I don't want you as my starter. In the National Football League, you better have an abundance of confidence because you are playing with a whole bunch of alphas. If you do have confidence, an abundance of it, I cannot guarantee that you are going to be a dude. But if you do not have confidence in your ability, I can guarantee you are not going to be a dude.
Yep.
Ryan Tannehill is now admitting indirectly that he does not have confidence in himself because he is worried about a backup taking his job. Not a first-round pick, not a second-round pick, but a third-round pick he is worried about taking his job. I do not want my starter scared, not at the quarterback position. Think about the alphas at QB in the AFC. Joe Burrow, he might have more confidence than any quarterback playing ball right now. Patrick Mahomes, he has an abundance of confidence. So much of it is deserved. Josh Allen, he got a freaking hose for a right arm, and he got nothing but confidence himself. Lamar Jackson, as confident as all get out, unanimous MVP. Then you have Ryan Tannehill. And Ryan Tannehill is so scared about his security that he is not willing to help his backup, that he's not willing to mentor his backup. No, the problem and what nobody is talking about is that Ryan Tannehill does not have the confidence necessary to lead the Tennessee Titans to where they want to go. That's my biggest problem with this statement. Not so much that he doesn't want to help Malik Willis, but that he's not confident enough that even if he helps Malik Willis still can't take his job. I'm going to end it like this. One of my favorite quotes.
Wileyism? Oh, no?
No, it's not a Wileyism. Damn. It should be.
Oh, let's go.
One of my favorite quotes, anybody can watch a Bruce Lee fight, but not anybody can fight like Bruce Lee.
Yes, sir.
You can watch a Bruce Lee fight day and night, but go up there with them nunchucks and see what you're going to do. You're going to hurt yourself. Ryan Tannehill, even if you were to help Malik Willis, you have to have enough confidence to say, hey, big dog, I can help you all I want, but you still can't beat me. You can watch all the Tannehill film you want, but you still can't beat me. So that's my biggest issue with Tannehill. Have enough confidence that knowing you that dude, and it don't even matter if you help him out.
Okay, Acho, you and I are on the same page. I got a big problem with this, but I also got a big problem with you trying to relate this to confidence. We'll talk about that second lap probably. But first, pass those sticks and let's beat the drum the same way. Oh, Ryan Tannehill, you told on yourself. He said, it's not my job to get him ready. I notice one thing in life. When people state the obvious, that shows insecurity. It's not my job. Yeah, we know what your job is. It's to play quarterback. But last time we saw you play your job, you were throwing the ball to the other team, which is leaking of the insecurity that has now bled into this situation of them drafting Malik Willis. And now all of a sudden, you're not a mentor. Oh, Ryan Tannehill, you understand how this game goes. We all put our hands in the middle and we say 1, 2, 3, Titans. You know why we do this? Because everyone here knows this is a group project. Do you know, Ryan Tannehill, you are one play away from handing the baton to potentially Malik Willis in that moment. And then that may be only a 2-game injury. And then you get your job back. But do you want your team, your group to suffer because of your selfishness or because of your insecurity? What you said is smart. What you said is absolutely correct in terms of this. Ryan Tannehill, me being a father, me being in a position where I was mentored by Bruce Smith, and then I became a mentor for a lot of defensive ends underneath me. Let me tell you one thing that the father in me learned, and I heard this. This is a Wileyism. They said that a son was looking at his father. He said, Dad taught me everything I know. Unfortunately, he didn't teach me everything he knows. Think about that. Whoa, that's a
Wileyism?
It's your boy, man. Can I get a book out of you? Can we co-author a book, but let me write it? Here we go. You know what that means? I can show you everything if I'm Ryan Tannehill. And there's still gonna be some things I don't show you, some things I can't show you, and some things that you just won't be able to do. And vice versa. That is the evolution of how we play the game. That is the buy-in to a culture, to a team atmosphere, to the group. So when you put your hands in the middle, now I'm gonna check Ryan Tannehill. Maybe he only putting a finger. Maybe he only putting a couple fingers. Because last time I checked, it's supposed to be 1, 2, 3 Titans.
That's big. Remember what it is, to Marcellus's point, if I may piggyback. It's the Titans versus the Colts. The Titans versus the Jaguars. The Titans versus the Texans. It's not the Tannehills versus the Willises. And that's the dilemma when Ryan Tannehill is saying that he is not going to mentor Malik Willis. You got to remember, it's us versus them, not us versus us.
Yes.
Tannehill, within your job description, within the fine print is to help the team win by any means necessary.
There you go.
And if the means is to help support your backup in the event he ever becomes a starter, then that is a part of your job description. Must I remind the world, when my Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl, it was not with their starting quarterback, Carson Wentz.
Preach.
Must I remind the world, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, it was with their backup quarterback, who was Nick Foles. You never know when you're going to need the backup to step in as a starter. And it should not undermine your credibility and undermine your greatness. Let's personalize it, Sel.
Oh, you know we go. We coming.
You keep your confidence within yourself, your arrogance. You say, you know your boy. I don't.
I see. I daily.
When we have different guests on this show, Marcellus, Wiley, and I, we sit here, we slide to our rights, we slide to our lefts, we let a guest come in between. I'm never sweating if a guest's gonna take my job. Because at the end of the day, I know a guest can't do what I can do. Stack Jack comes on the show. I'm not like, man, I hope Steven Jackson fumbles through his first take, because if he delivers it too well, it might be over for Acho. In the same breath, he knows he can teach me elbow in, hand in a cookie jar, follow through, and I'm not gonna be able to hoop like him. So I'm not sweating on telling them, like, hey, I would lead with the headline, make your opening sentence your strongest point. I'm not sweating helping somebody, because at the end of the day, they can't do what you can do, and you can't do what they can do, period. So if you have legitimate confidence in your ability to perform, then you should never doubt or never be scared of helping somebody else, because at the end of the day, you the best version of you, and they can't be you. But Tannehill a little scary to me, Sal. He's a little scary to me for two reasons. I'm gonna give you one.
Keep going. Excuse me.
A little scary to me for two reasons.
I'm scared to talk.
The first reason is, remember, he said after the last game where he threw 3 interceptions in the playoffs, he couldn't sleep. Said he couldn't sleep. He said he was in such a dark place that for the first time he had to seek therapy to get him out of the dark place. So Tannehill is coming from a horrific situation in his mind. So for me, still, as I look at it, Tannehill is scary because of what he went through, and he ain't yet over it. Talk to me, big dog.
Now, I told you I had a problem with you. And you attaching this to confidence, and we can't be on this show and not layer this conversation accurately. Don't give me Stack Jack comparisons when we're doing our show and we just add a guest or we add someone else up here. I want to give it to you like it was given to Ryan Tannehill. Someone comes to your workplace with the exact same title as you. All of a sudden, that competition breeds an insecurity that we must talk about. I told you, my contract year in Buffalo, Bruce Smith was there 3 years, I'm his backup. He leaves, guess what? It's my job. That year, they drafted in the first round, forget third round, first round, a defensive end. Oh, I'm insecure. But I told you before, what confidence is managing your doubt. It's not absolutely no doubt, it's managing your doubt. I started to say, you know what I got to do? I got to compete. But I'm also going to help him, because the best of me is better than all y'all, is my belief. However, I'm going to give you 2 examples that shows you this is not a confidence conversation. This is not what you're trying to make it. The first example is Brett Favre. Remember Brett Favre with Aaron Rodgers? Quote, my contract doesn't say I have to get Aaron Rodgers ready to play. Now, hopefully, he watches me and gets something from that. That's exactly what Ryan Tannehill said. I dare you, I dare anybody to tell me, Brett Favre wasn't confident. Here's another example. If you don't believe in Brett Favre's confidence, how about Tom Brady, who was famously unhelpful to his backups, neglecting to help Jimmy Garoppolo, and they had the same agent, with his mechanics and footwork. What I'm trying to tell you is, we ain't got to act like we Teflon up here. Like when you're going up in football, when it's time for you to go hit, let's talk about kickoff, and it's quiet, and it's 1:03 p.m., because you know it never starts at 1 o'clock exactly. 1:03 p.m., and you're like, damn, here we go. And it's quiet. Boom. That ball's in the air, you hear nothing. In that mix of your emotions, don't act like you ain't got a little anxiety, a little fear, a little doubt. Or fire could come across your face and you feel like Dave Chappelle right now getting tackled. I was there last night. It could come from anywhere. These bullets live. All I'm saying is Ryan Tannehill is in that moment. It's a little bit of fight or flight. And I'm not mad at him for that because it's not based on his confidence.
If it is fight or flight, I need him to buck up, big dog.
Yes.
If you scared, go to church. I need him to buck up if it's fight or flight. I wholeheartedly agree with you. It's fight or flight right now for Ryan Tannehill. But it's time for you to fight.
Yeah.
You can't sit here and act scary. Tom Brady probably did lack some confidence when they drafted Jimmy G because, as we know, Robert Kraft was like, hey, Bill Belichick, chill out. Bill Belichick was like, hey, I want Jimmy G. So I think even the greatest of all time and Tom Brady may have lacked some confidence, but still.
Yes.
Kellen Mond was drafted in the 3rd round to the Minnesota Vikings last year. Kirk Cousins is the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. You didn't hear Kirk Cousins sweating nothing, and Kirk Cousins was coming off a 7-9 season. Kirk Cousins is perennially being questioned as whether or not he should be a starter. And Kirk wasn't like, oh my God, I'm just so worried about this Kellen Mond guy. Matt Flynn. Even when Russell Wilson was drafted in the 3rd round. And Russell ended up taking Matt Flynn's job and becoming a more than likely first ballot Hall of Famer. You didn't hear quotes of Matt Flynn like, man, I ain't helping this cat out from where'd he go? Wisconsin? NC State?
Yeah.
I ain't helping this cat. Nah, because Matt Flynn's like, at the end of the day, it is what it is, big dog. Yeah. I'm going to get mine. He going to get his. Either way, it's going to work out. Let me personalize it.
Let's go.
It's a true story. I don't think he'd call me out for this. My dog, Michael Kendricks. Maybe the most athletic linebacker I've ever seen and played with. Dude was a 4.4 runner before linebackers were running 4.4s. Nowadays, everybody running a 4.4. Back then, wasn't nobody running 4.4.
Yeah.
Kendricks was athletic, could jump out the gym, could run with wide receivers like it was nothing. But every Saturday before our Sunday games, I would send Kendricks my game notes. I'd be like, hey, big dog, here's my notes. When you go up against the Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton, if you see them in an offset back, anticipate the counter. If you see both tight ends on the line of scrimmage, anticipate a hard play action. If you see the inside receiver on the ball, outside receiver off the ball, anticipate a dig. 12 yards deep, 2 yards outside the hash, you'll get yourself a pick. I would send him all my game notes. Now, what I could have done was, okay, if I don't send Kendricks any of my notes, he might bust a coverage. And if he messes up on a coverage, well, guess what? Acho's going to get his chance to start. But at the end of the day, I'm like, hey, he can ball. He's athletic. I'm brilliant as it pertains to football. Yeah. He is brilliant as it pertains to athleticism. I am not. I am dumb as can be as it pertains to athleticism physically when you're talking about NFL standards. Yeah. So I'm just like, hey, at the end of the day, what is it? A rising tide floats all boats. Yeah. So let's just all be floating out here in these streets. So I don't like Ryan Tannehill in that regard because at the end of the day, what's for you is for you and can't nobody take it from you.
Yeah, that sounds great, but I'm about to go even deeper on this one. And I'm gonna take the lead so I don't take you anywhere you don't want to go.
Talk to me.
There's a different pressure that Ryan Tannehill is dealing with than what we're talking about.
Okay.
You bring up Steven Jackson. He's here to add to what we are doing here. You talk about on the football field, linebackers. What y'all running, 4-3?
4-3. 3-4.
3-4.
Yes, sir.
Oh, even better, 3-4. I wonder what the 4 is for. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, four positions.
Yes, sir.
4 linebackers.
Yes, sir.
How many quarterbacks in the game? Anybody?
1, sir.
Oh, yeah. You don't cook. You told us that yesterday. You just delivery, right? Chef service, okay? You're rich. Okay, here's the thing. I have a deep fryer.
Okay.
And I use an air fryer.
Okay.
Now, the deep fryer gonna get that thing crisp.
No question.
Not the healthiest version, but it's gonna crisp it.
Yes, sir.
Air fryer does its job too, but it's a little off of it compared to the deep fryer. We talking air fryer up here, a different pressure. Ryan Tannehill saying, me helping him, and you know in the NFL, younger and cheaper is already on your level mentally upstairs because of what it affects on the cap number. They're like, we paying Ryan Tannehill $30-some million. he better be 30-some million times better than the cheaper, younger version. If Ryan Tannehill closes that gap for them and for Malik Willis, all it's going to do is take away his livelihood. Fair. It wouldn't work that way in linebacker world because it's 4 y'all. It didn't work that way in defensive end world because there was 2 of us, okay? So when we talk about Ryan Tannehill, his confidence, let's make sure we understand the pressure that he is actually cooking in and cooking with.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love this show, y'all, because we go deeper. At the end of the day, Ryan Tannehill, if you ball, ain't nobody taking your job.
Facts.
Period. Rap. Let's start in Green Bay. Jordan Love was traded up 4. But Aaron Rodgers was like, you know what? I'm going to give you 1 MVP. Nah, I'm going to give you 2 MVPs.
Right.
And now Jordan Love is the laughing stock, so to speak, of first-round picks. No slight on Jordan Love. Rodgers just made him completely expendable. Okay, you talk about Rodgers, though. Acho, Ryan Tannehill ain't Rodgers. You're right. That's my me.
You're right.
Let's talk about Jimmy G. Because Trey Lance, they traded multiple first-round picks in order to acquire Trey Lance. And guess what? Trey Lance still riding pine because Jimmy G took the 49ers to the playoffs, to a couple playoff wins, and now what you gonna do? Bench Jimmy G? No. Jimmy G balled. Okay, let me give you the inverse. Jalen Hurts, he wasn't drafted in the first round. Eagles didn't trade up for Jalen Hurts. They got Jalen Hurts in the second round. Carson Wentz helped the Eagles win a Super Bowl just 3 years prior. And Carson Wentz still got benched and eventually traded for Jalen Hurts. Why? Because Carson Wentz was sorry in the season in which Jalen Hurts was present. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who was drafted, when they were drafted, how they was drafted. If you ball, you gonna be safe. And if you don't ball, you gonna fall. So Tannehill, help him or not is irrelevant. It's really all on you. Are you going to ball? That's what it comes down to.
You're right. You're right. You're right. I just want to highlight you're right. And I agree with you, so I guess we're right. And we know how the game goes. And he didn't play the game right now. There's always a game within the game. And Ryan Tannehill, for whatever reason, maybe it's the therapy, didn't want to play the game at the podium this time. You know I'm going there. We don't always say what we feel, and we don't always feel what we say. But Ryan Tannehill, for some reason, wanted to opt out in this moment and say, you know what? I understand what should be said in this moment. Oh, yeah, I got him. And he could have did that. It would have been great theater, and it would have been simple. Even though he could have still went back on that in practice and never helped Malik Willis. But in this moment, he wanted to call attention, cry out for help, and saying there's going to be a gap between me, the mentor, and him, the mentee. For that reason, I got to highlight this.
Where you going?
Everyone has a manager. I've been reading these books. One of them is called The Body Keeps the Score. So basically, you want to know about your life, just check out your body. Your body will tell you about it. A little too deep for right now in this conversation. But one thing they talk about is everyone has managers. And your managers have 2 jobs. One is to protect you from future pain. And another one is to preempt all of the things that you have dealt with before. So let's give you an example. Ryan Tannehill, who used to be a receiver, who then was a doubted quarterback, who becomes a quarterback, is now in a position where his manager is like, we don't want to get demoted again. And we don't want people doubting us again. So what his manager has told him to do is to opt out of this moment of being a teammate and go for self. Because last time they doubted you who you were at this same moment, at this same position. Real deep stuff, but basically, I ain't mad at Ryan Tannehill because for once he got to the podium and he kept it thorough 100. Now, what is he going to do? You got to buy back into the team concept.
But here's the only reason why maybe you should be concerned. Don't be mad at Tannehill, but be concerned.
Why?
Every now and then, Sel, when you are so passionate about something that you can't lie, people should start to ask questions.
Let me go.
Running to Marcellus Wiley on the street. Hey, how you doing, big dog? What is your natural, instantaneous response?
I'm good. What's up, boy?
That's it.
Yeah, I'm out.
That's it.
Yeah.
It don't matter whether you're good, whether you're bad. Nothing matters. If you run into your homeboy or homegirl on the street, hey, how are you? Oh, I'm good. Irrelevant of whether you actually are good, I'm good. The only time in which you lie is the only time, in which you tell the truth.
I'm with you.
Is if you are so not good that you can't even fake it. And then this is what you do. Hey, how you doing, big dog? You really want to know? Right? Like the only time I've run into individuals who don't hit me with the, oh, I'm good, is when they're so not good that they can't even give you the pre-recorded lie. Ryan Tannehill's cell is so insecure about his starting job. He is so not good with his position as a starter, and in my mind, he is so unsure about his ability to maintain his high level playing at quarterback for when he has played at a high level that he couldn't even lie to us. Because it's so easy to say, I texted him after the draft, I'm going to do my best to make sure I help him and help us win, that's my job. That lie is so easy. Unless he's so not good, he can't even lie.
Ooh, that sounds amazing, but it doesn't map on the reality, and I don't even want to counter that, but I got to. Brady was good. He still said the same thing. Brett Favre was good. Brett Favre was the most famous football player I've ever seen. Seriously. Of all football players I've ever encountered, played against, seen, to this day, Brett Favre was the most famous. Trust me. Dude had entourage security with him everywhere he went. We talking about just going to the hotel, bro. We talking about just game day. It was next level. He was good, and he said the same exact thing. So now Acho wants Ryan Tannehill to fake it till he makes it, right? Basically, right? So it's funny you run up to the homeboy, what's up? Oh, man, all good, all good. Well, we ain't really got nowhere with that. Okay, whatever. You run up to the same homeboy, why you doing? Oh, man, on the real property taxes, man, they hitting your boy, and me and the wife ain't on really good time. You want that? I do. Ryan Tannehill just said, that's what he said. And Acho mad at him. I thought you was about mental health. He just went there.